guys. So we're a week into it, probably for most of you. And you may have just found out also, if you're in the Virginia area, that schools are closed for the rest of the school year. So now you've definitely figured out that you have to make the plunge because we're in this for a long haul together. And it's going to take even more adjustment than we thought. So I thought I'd bring you some of those resources that I told you about and just a few ideas, but still keeping in mind that the main thing I think we should be focusing on for the next couple weeks, if you're new to this, is just decompressing and getting adjusted to what this new normal looks like for you. So let's see, I made some little notes. I think the first thing is first thing in the day, when you are up and having your coffee or tea or getting things going, you want to think about your SOLs. So if we're in Virginia, we have the standard of learning SOLs, which are now kind of out the window. But let's think about the SOLs for you. And that would be those standards of learning that you are going to set for yourself just for today. Because you've got to take this one day at a time. And so I want you to think about how you are feeling today. So does that mean you need some extra grace today? Does that mean you are super, super brave and excited and ready to take on a new challenge and leap into some new things? Or do you need some physical activity today to balance you out because you're just feeling like you haven't gotten enough energy and movement in your day with this kind of being trapped inside? So think about those things and plan your day accordingly. So those are your SOLs. And you're going to hold yourself accountable each morning like that and think about how that's going to set your standard of living for just today, just your school day. Each day, I think you should feel awesome about your accomplishments if you've included these 6 subjects. So if you have a pen and paper, if you're a note taker like me, I would say these 6 subjects are sort of your ones you're going to want to focus on. First, try to fit in a read aloud. And that read aloud is a big deal for my family. Our kids are spread widely in ages. We have 19, 13, and 9. So finding something that we all do together and that, is a hit for everyone has always been kind of like an extraordinary feat in itself. But right now, just the younger girls are home homeschooling, and the read aloud we're doing together is Harry Potter. We're on book 7 now, and the important thing I think is to make sure it's a book that you enjoy just as much as they do. So don't make this your lesson. And it can be, it's going to be part of your lesson, but don't make this a just factual book because you feel like you have to trudge through Virginia history or, you have to learn these specific things. Choose a book that you love and that's in a genre that you enjoy and that you're going to feel comfortable with and excited about the plot just as much as they are. You're going to pick one that will fit a wide range of ages, and younger kids might not understand all the nuances of it the way that the older kids will or the way that you will, but it doesn't mean it's not fun and enjoyable. And honestly, just sitting together and reading is fun and can be enjoyable. So if you're going to do that read aloud, then you're going to do some kind of writing. So we love copy work. We copy down a sentence or two from whatever book they're reading in their schoolwork, or we pick something that they're interested in and it's something from that. I know a lot of our friends at our co-op will choose a line from a hymn or a Bible verse or something like that. Whatever's important to you. The act of writing is not only helpful in their handwriting, but also just writing can show them the mechanics of language and where periods and commas go, and the flow of literature as a whole. So writing is good in that spelling, and it's, good for so many things. So we use copywork. We love writing friends cards and letters. We do sometimes grade appropriate writing exercises from fun workbooks. Like we have a Minecraft one, and we have a Star Wars one. And we'll look up writing prompts sometimes. We also keep journals that the girls and I write back and forth to each other in. And we can just write a silly note about the day. But a lot of times there are things that you wouldn't necessarily say out loud to each other, but they feel comfortable in writing it down. And again, that's an exercise in writing. And if you have little ones, just practicing, letters can be good. Or even if they can tell you, sometimes even Charlie will just dictate to me what she wants to write, and I'll write it down for her. Even putting words into sentences is a practice in literacy, just the same as, as sitting down and memorizing, vocabulary and sentence structure, facts. So don't be afraid to do things like that, to just put things into motion. And we alternate those activities. So one day we'll have copy work, the next day is writing a letter, the next day is working in our writing workbooks. So make sure you get writing in. Then narration is huge too. So narration is anything you're learning about, you want to be able to tell someone about. So whenever we read a book, we're very living text focused in our curriculum. Whatever we're learning about, then we have an exercise right afterwards that is telling about. So it's either writing about it, telling the story in your own words. It might be acting it out. It might be building a diorama with Legos or clay, or drawing a picture and maybe making a mobile. But do one of those exercises and base it on, you can base it on your family reading, you can base it on whatever they're, another topic they're interested in. Just that act of retelling is a way to process information and a good way to know whether they're catching on. Then the fourth thing I think you should fit in somehow is math. But don't be stressed and freaked about it. This does not have to be hours sat on ABC Mouse doing math games. We love Beast Academy. We love Life of Fred. And that's in our regular homeschool curriculum day. But you guys, as you're easing into this, don't feel the stress of how long it has to be, or how you have to be sitting at a table and writing your math facts. These are both curriculums you can get off their own websites or off of Amazon that are really thought-provoking. They have storylines. Beast Academy is in a comic book form. And it's what they use to work with kids who are mathletes, and so it's fun and engaging, and it's really higher learning kinds of processes that are enjoyable, rather than just sitting and kind of regurgitating facts. So that might be a fun one if they enjoy it. Life of Fred is the math is presented in kind of a novel about a little boy who is so good at math that he's teaching adults how to do it at a university. But also don't forget, for your younger kids, things like tangigrams and construction and measuring. And if you want to work on things like math facts, do it through a basketball game. Do it by asking pop quiz questions while bouncing on a yoga ball or walking on a slack line. that combination of physical activity with mathematics and facts really engages the brain and helps them memorize and makes it more fun. So this isn't a grueling process for anybody, and that's super important. Number 5 thing I would say to put in your day is a new habit or new skill. So that might be piano, that might be batting practice, that might be, I know Evie Graham one year got excited about essential oils and the healing properties of them. So she found a program online and got certified in essential oils. These kinds of exercises and engagement in what they really love can incorporate all different skills from math to science to history in such a holistic way that you'll find they love it and they're excited and you get to know them better, which is, what this should all be about too, as you're home together and we're pounding through this. And the last thing I would say, and probably the most important thing, is some kind of time together. You and your kids are never going to forget this crazy, crazy time. And you're never going to forget the activities that you did that, took time out of the day for just you to sit there together and learn something. So this could be part of your math or part of your writing, or maybe you sit and read books, your own books next to each other. Maybe you bake cupcakes together. But while we're doing all these things together because we're in quarantine and we, don't have other company, a learning activity that you share, like making a timeline or doing an art lesson together, is so enriching and will bring knowledge into your life in a way that no textbook or workbook or flashcard ever could. So I definitely encourage you to put that on a schedule every day too. So if you do these 6 things, you win. I didn't say anything about any tests or any worksheets or any rubrics to see how much knowledge your child got. I just said that if you do those 6 things and you fit them in your day, you have won, period. That's it. You and your child are growing and working against crazy, crazy odds, and that right there is success. There's no test that could measure that. And if you didn't get all of those 6 things in, but you have a tomorrow that you can use to try again together, then you still win. You are still healthy enough and you're still committed enough to your child and your family that you get to do all of this again tomorrow. And so then we've all won. We've all got a tomorrow to do over again and to try it all again and to learn a little bit more. So 6 things that'll help you get there, and the knowledge that even if you don't make all of these milestones, and even if you don't learn all of the things that you set out for yourself or organize the way you really wanted to, you get another tomorrow because we're healthy enough and we're strong enough and we've got enough mental endurance to be able to do it, that you've won. And that's success right there. And we're in it together and we can make it another day. I hope that this has given you a little bit of peace in your day. I hope today you got through with a little bit of grace and understanding from your loved ones and your partners who are helping do this. And I hope that you're learning a little bit about your kids. I know that I've been learning about mine and about my own weaknesses and my own strengths. And we are all in it, and we'll get through it, and we'll have more to think about tomorrow. See ya.